What's up, everybody? My name is Angel Davis, and I'm back with another video. Now, this video is gonna be another reaction video. So, I've been reacting to videos non-stop for the past, I think, a couple of months. And the recent video I reacted to was when you were for Jinder Mahal for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash. Which I'm kind of pissed off that Jinder Mahal is the champion, but it is what it is. So, if you guys want to see that video, link will be in the description down below if you guys want to check it out. But anyways, let's get on with the reaction video. And this reaction video is recommended to my good friend, Super Bowser Silver. And if anyone has any suggestions to me to react to, I will kindly react to the videos on YouTube. And yeah, I will react to the videos on YouTube. This video is why Godzilla 2014 is better than Shin Godzilla. Now, I don't know why he wanted me to react to that video because not subscribe. No. Unsubscribe to this guy. I don't even know who this guy is. Okay. But, I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know why he asked me to react to that video, but I'm going to react to that video because he wanted me to react to the video. He wanted me to tell you guys why Godzilla 2014 is better than Shin Godzilla, and I don't care about any Godzilla movies. I thought the 2016 or 2014, no, 2016 or 2015, I don't know. I thought that Godzilla was awesome. So, and the 2014 Godzilla, it was pretty good, but not as good as the 2016 or 17 one, whatever. Anyways, I don't care about that. Let's go on to the reaction video.
What's up, guys? Kujira51 here, also known as Richard Manzo, and today we're going to be discussing which is better, Godzilla 2014 or Shin Godzilla. That is right, you guys. We're going to be talking about which film is better, not who would win in a fight, Godzilla 2014 or Shin Godzilla. That may be saved for another video, but it is ridiculous. I realized recently I have never done a video on Godzilla 2014 versus Shin Godzilla. All throughout the history of my channel, all the lead up, all of the hate I said about Shin Godzilla, and I never compared the two. So finally, we're going to be comparing the two films today, Godzilla 2014 and Shin Godzilla. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and just get right into it. Now, the first topic we're going to be talking about to compare the two is going to be the plot of both films. Now, as for Godzilla 2014, Ford Brody, a Navy bomb expert, has just reunited with his family in San Francisco when he is forced to go to Japan to help his estranged father, Joe. Soon, both men are swept up in an escalating crisis when Godzilla, king of the monsters, arises from the sea to combat malevolent adversaries that threaten the survival of humanity. The creatures leave colossal destruction in their wake as they make their way toward their final battleground, San Francisco. As for the plot of Shin Godzilla, a mysterious monster emerges from Tokyo Bay and wreaks havoc upon Japan. Now, you will notice the contrast between the two synopses of the film, and I think this perfectly sums up the films in general. Godzilla 2014 has much more going for it in terms of plot. The story itself is more interesting, there is more to it. It's not just Godzilla emerging and destroying and people trying to figure out a way to destroy him. The Mutos want to mate and are communicating to each other. Godzilla sees this and he has to stop it. However, Ford still has to get across the country in time to save his family, and Godzilla, of course, has to destroy the Mutos, retaining balance to the world as we know it.
A power to restore balance. I believe he is
Okay.
As for Shin Godzilla, it is literally as straightforward as it sounds. He emerges, people try to stop him, it doesn't work at first, they try to stop him again, finally they get him, and that's it. That's really just about it. So in terms of plot, Godzilla 2014 definitely takes this point for me.
Godzilla 2. Oh, Godzilla 1. 1 point.
Characters. As for Godzilla 2014, the main characters of the film, we have Ford Brody. He's a bomb defusal expert who is returning home to his family when he gets a call from Japan. He has to leave his family and bail his father out of jail. He doesn't believe his conspiracy theorist father at first, but as the film goes on, he realizes he was right all along and must make it in time to rescue his family. As for Joe Brody, he is still feeling guilty over his wife's death during a Janjira nuclear plant disaster. He searches for the truth behind the accident. He knows the Japanese government is hiding something and he has to expose it for him and his wife. Because of this, Ford has left him alone in Japan, and he wants to prove to his son once and for all that he is not crazy. And finally, we have Ashiro Serizawa. He has studied these creatures for years, working with Monarch. Now that the Mutos have emerged and want to mate, he knows that Godzilla must be the one to restore balance.
Let them fight.
As for Shin Godzilla, I don't even know why I wrote down these names. You have Rando Yaguchi, Kayako Ann Patterson, and Hideki Akasaka. As for Yaguchi, I guess, is that him? Actually, I don't even think that's him. No, I switched the two pictures. Did you guys even notice that? I guess the girl actually wants to be the U.S. president or something? I don't know. My main point is that there is nothing memorable about the characters in Shin Godzilla. They are the most bland characters I have seen in a kaiju film, and that is saying a lot going back. I would much rather take the cast from a random Showa-era movie and put them in Shin Godzilla. There would actually be something to them. There is literally nothing to them besides the one girl wants to be the president of the United States one day. That's really it. That's the motivation. Other than that, they're all just working in their office. They're all working for the Japanese government. So there's no real personal motivation for that. We never really see them convey emotion in any way. We have no reason to care about them because they have no motivation. There's no distinction. It is literally just like you took the background extras of some Godzilla film and told them, hey, guess what? You guys are going to be the main characters in this Godzilla movie. That is literally it. This is, in fact, probably the easiest point to go to Godzilla 2014.
That's true. Two points for that film.
Soundtrack. Now this was a close one. I was debating whether or not I should give the point to Shin Godzilla because they used the original scores. But then I was thinking how lazy that is. They didn't even re-record it. It sounds like they ripped it straight from YouTube. But a lot of the scores in Shin Godzilla are also very good. My favorites being Persecution of the Masses,
Hey, I don't like that.
Who Will Know,
I don't even like that song. Soundtrack.
and The Offensive.
Wow, that Godzilla looks really
Then
good.
you have some scores like Kyosatai,
Hey, I like that.
or Ultimate.
I like that other song. Wait.
And Early Morning in Tokyo. What?
よって羽田空港は全便が品川消防署管内南品川付近にて新たな再発電話の各線は京急を除いて運転を再開します。援助物資が不足緊急で東京都の東京新幹線では通常通り
And my most hated by far is Organization Formation. They used this score like 5 times throughout the entire film, and it drove me crazy every single time.
書斎店事務局長の矢口だ。本対策室の中
放射性廃棄物を餌とする生物の存在に
Hey, I like that soundtrack.
米軍との共同作戦
I literally got soundtrack all the
網
time.
羅することができました。その結果
And they only use about 3 classic original songs. When He Evolves, Godzilla relanding using the original theme, and the Military March.
Hey, I like that soundtrack.
Every single theme in 2014, however, is new and original, not relying on the classics, trying to be its own thing. The most notable scores by far are the main theme, The Wave,
Okay. Hey, that soundtrack sucks, The Wave.
Last Shot,
That one sucks too.
Godzilla's victory.
Now, Godzilla's victory was awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. I don't like the soundtrack, but I like that.
And back to the ocean.
Everything about this scene sucks. Why did he go back to the ocean? I don't know why.
They capture the original essence and feeling of Akira Ifukube's score. Alexander Desplat is one of the best composers working today.
No,
he
he's
should be
not.
acclaimed just as much as Hans Zimmer,
He's not one
and
of the
this
best
proves
composers
why.
today.
This is real close, it really was. But a soundtrack in a film is supposed to convey the tone of the film, and in the case of Shin Godzilla, it is going for a dark and helpless tone. But it takes you right out of it when you hear this.
Hey, I like
2014
that.
sets a very eerie and suspenseful tone. Most prominently is the Halo Jump score, which is the only non-original score. Overall, like I said, this was very close, but I have to give the edge to 2014 for originality and more consistency overall.
Well, I think it's 50-50.
Special effects. This one is pretty obvious. Both are completely CGI, however, Godzilla 2014 special effects are much better. This is actually almost unfair, but I had to put it in here just to be fair, that way every single one gets an equal shot, and by far it's Godzilla 2014. Some shots in Shin Godzilla rival 2014, but there are very few and very far between. Most of the daytime scenes earlier on in the film look terrible compared to Godzilla 2014. At the very end, in the climax of the film, the day shots look really great, but the night shots look best, most notably by far is the atomic breath scene. That is what everyone is talking about. That includes my favorite shot of the whole film, which is this shot. For Toho and even Japanese standards, it's a huge improvement. It really is. But overall, you just cannot compare it to Godzilla 2014. Never before have we seen Godzilla look so real and so lifelike all throughout the film. The way he moved, his eyes, his teeth, everything about him. Not to mention the Mudos as well. Godzilla 2014 just is, again, more consistent. And you'll notice this is the issue with Shin Godzilla.
Hey, Shin Godzilla had awesome special effects too. I kinda hate that
Action. This one is also fairly obvious. While Shin Godzilla does have the classic and awesome Godzilla destroying Tokyo, that's about it really. We barely see anything else. It's always him walking slowly, knocking over buildings or stepping on tanks. We rarely see anything else from him, like him using his atomic breath or his tail and back lasers. And yes, they are lasers. I actually had a debate with this with a member from the Godzilla Google Plus community. Cool guy. They are in fact lasers, however. They are made up of photons, as he stated. Photons are a form of electromagnetic radiation, and a laser is made up of light or electromagnetic radiation. So yeah, they're lasers. Sorry for that tangent. We'll get more into his lasers and such later.
Well,
but the action, while awesome to see regardless, can get very repetitive. Now, one of the worst aspects of Shin Godzilla's action is the main characters are never in any danger. They are never in the action. The main characters only observe Godzilla from far away or on a rooftop or something like that. In Godzilla 2014, however, Ford is always in the action front and center, like the Hawaii airport scene, for example, or on the train track and stuff like that. Whether he is running away from a Muto or coming face to face with Godzilla, he's in the action and always has a direct impact on what happens. Now, while we don't get much of Godzilla destroying a city, we do get a fair amount, though, with him on the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff like that. We see him fighting the Mutos, which is much more entertaining and has more possibilities than Godzilla fighting jets, because there are stakes involved. They are a match for Godzilla. The military is not, which makes it more redundant. Now, it's funny, because one of the biggest complaints about Godzilla 2014 was that there wasn't enough action. It was boring. Godzilla wasn't in it enough. The Mutos add a lot of action, though, which would be very helpful for Shin Godzilla, because the entire film is so boring. Godzilla has just as much or even less screen time than Godzilla 2014. Shin is estimated to have 8 to 9 minutes, while Godzilla 2014 has 12 minutes. 2014 flows very smoothly. There's never a moment when you're not engaged. So many times I was looking at my phone during Shin Godzilla, waiting for Godzilla to appear on screen, and I was in the movie theater, for God's sakes.
緊急の有識者会議を設置すべく候補者リストを作成しております。早く正体を知りたい。
総理、緊急の課題は尻尾の正体よりも今後の対応です。
あ、そうか。しかしこいつは思ったより想定外すぎるぞ。ですが対処フローの選択肢はシンプルです。
And the funniest part is, no one talks about this. About half of the screen time we also get of Godzilla really isn't Godzilla. It's his three other stupid-looking forms. 2014 had great realistic giant monster fights. The way they were shot gave it a great sense of scale, having almost every single shot in a position where a person could stand. Whether it's through the window of a skyscraper watching the three monsters fight, on the Golden Gate Bridge looking up, or even on the rooftops with the military. It not only has a great sense of scale, but as well as location, something Gareth Edwards is great at. Shin Godzilla is supposed to be the largest Godzilla we've seen, but you never get that sense of scale or immersion. That is why Godzilla 2014 has the greatest action between the two.
Well, I gotta go with Godzilla 2014 on this one. Yeah, Godzilla 2014 has better action. I gotta say. But the soundtrack...
Cinematography is one of the most important aspects of the film. It is what you see on screen, how it looks, how it makes you feel, and I've only got one thing to say that sums up my choice perfectly: the halo jump. This is probably one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a film to date. Everything about it, the hellish colors, the red streams as the soldiers jump out from the plane. It looks like the soldiers are diving directly into the heart of hell, and combine that with the chilling music from Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. You have one of the most eerie and haunting scenes I've ever seen. Gareth Edwards stated that one of his biggest inspirations visually was Akira, and this is very noticeable. Every shot in Godzilla 2014 is breathtaking. The color grading, the shot composition, as I mentioned, every single shot of where Godzilla is, where the monsters are fighting, it is so perfectly placed where a human could stand that it gives you the perspective, it gives you the scale, it puts you in this world, it immerses you. One of the greatest things about the Halo jump is that it puts you right with the soldiers, both figuratively and literally. You're there with the soldiers, you feel what they feel, you see the monsters, you feel the grand epicness in the scale of it. But the same cannot be said for Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla has a very dull look to it, and as stated, the day scenes don't even compete with 2014. The night shots, however, do look fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, they look great and do compete with 2014, but again, it comes down to consistency, and that is something Shin Godzilla severely lacks. Nothing in Shin Godzilla can ever come close to the Halo insertion scene.
Hey, I like that scene. Yeah, Godzilla 2014 has 2 points, but the soundtrack, I kind of like Shin Godzilla with the soundtrack.
Now finally, it comes down to the biggest point, Godzilla himself. And straight up, it's 2014. Shin made Godzilla more of a gimmick. The director, Anno Hideki, made him into an anime, essentially. He should have been the director of the new up-and-coming Godzilla Planet of Monsters, or whatever it's called. He would have fit much better there. He completely bastardized the original idea and feeling of Godzilla and took his artistic liberties too far. He added the 3 other forms, including the weird, dog Godzilla or the turkey Godzilla. For some reason, he made his jaw split just like Otachi from Pacific Rim, and he made his jaw extend like the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. He also put an entire mouth on the end of Godzilla's tail to make him shoot a laser, and he made Godzilla shoot a laser light show out of his back. Not to mention, he also has Godzilla humanoids growing on the end of his tail. Legendary haters always talk about how this wasn't their Godzilla, but they are completely fine with Shin Godzilla. They love it because it's Toho, and because it's Toho, no one bats an eye. And one of the funniest complaints is that everyone, even Japan especially, they complain that Godzilla 2014 was too fat. But look at Shin Godzilla. Oh my god. He is one of the fattest from the chest and waist down Godzillas we've ever seen. He makes Heisei Godzilla look like he's doing CrossFit, for God's sake. Seriously.
Hey, don't
Godzilla
make
2014 is muscular. Look at those thighs. Very muscular. He has a six-pack on him. His arms are very muscular. But look at Shin Godzilla's thighs. Those are childbearing, fat roll after fat rolled. Oh my gosh. 2014 played it safe. I'll admit that, but in doing so, it did Godzilla correctly. They didn't add any new powers to Godzilla. They didn't make him very generic. They didn't make him something that he's not. They took their liberties as well, but still kept the iconic feeling of Godzilla. They made the atomic breath more fire-like. They gave him elephant-like feet. He has gills. They even changed the origin story, but it still works better for the story of the movie itself. He's always been around. He's a prehistoric creature, and we awoke him. He's the balancing force. He has to stop the Mutos. In Shin Godzilla, they tried to force a whole environmental message, but didn't add to anything, and it just replaced the atomic bomb message, which 2014 still has, but they don't even have that in Shin Godzilla. They just completely changed it. They are all minor design choices, but in Shin Godzilla, they rewrite the entire character, even rewriting the origin. They make him into every other generic Ultraman or Gamera kaiju who can shoot lasers out of his hands, tail, back, chest, whatever. It's funny to say this, but Zilla actually has more in common with Godzilla than Shin Godzilla does. Roland Emmerich may have made Godzilla look different, but he still looks better than the first 3 forms of Shin Godzilla. But yes, guys, with that said, that finally concludes why Godzilla 2014 as a film is better than Shin Godzilla in every single way possible. But the Shin Godzilla hate is back, guys, and I am loving this. But yes, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, though. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Also, guys, tell me down below, do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? I'm guessing that however many views this video gets, the dislike is going to be insane. But really, guys, I hope you do pay attention to this because I feel like these are very good points I am making that Godzilla 2014 is better. If you walk out of this video with anything, guys, just have a new open mind and perspective if you are a quote-unquote Toho fanboy. But yes, guys, that's basically all I wanted to address for this video. I can't believe I never made a video like this before. But if you guys would also like to see me make a video about Godzilla 2014 versus Shin Godzilla in a straight-up fight, go and tell me down below as well. If you guys also like this video and you want to continue the Shin Godzilla hate, you guys can click on the screen right now to watch a video. But yes, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm the Godzilla 54, as always, out.
Okay. That was a pretty, so-so video. But you gotta understand something. Shin Godzilla's soundtrack, the first one, is awesome. The first one that he announced, that he just said, is awesome. But I gotta go. Most of the soundtracks are stupid in Shin Godzilla, but the one soundtrack is better, and that's like the Japanese talking soundtrack and stuff like that. And the reason why 2014 Godzilla is too fat, it's like he's like Snorlax, like fat, too fat. Yeah, he does have heat breath, and he does have nuclear breath. And those are lasers. I didn't even realize those were lasers. And to be honest with you, the 2014 Godzilla doesn't, it's not fun to watch. I don't like watching the 2014 Godzilla. I like watching the Shin Godzilla movie. I'm sure I'm gonna get a bunch of hate when, like, hey, Godzilla 2014 is better than Shin Godzilla, okay? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who's better, Godzilla 2014 or Shin Godzilla? My vote is Shin Godzilla is better than Godzilla 2014. Well, thank you guys for watching. Peace out, guys.